beautiful appearance, a man with a good face. He walks towards him and he says, "Who are you? Who are you? You bring goodness. You look like you bring good news. Who are you?" And the man says, "I am your good deeds. I am your good deeds. By Allah, I used to know that you were quick in the obedience of Allah and you were slow to disobey Allah. So, Jazakallahu khaira. May Allah Jalla wa Ala recompense you with goodness." And so that man, he stays with him in his grave until Yawm al-Qiyamah. And in the morning and in the evening, that window is opened up for him and he sees his place. He sees his place in the Jannah. And so he says, "Oh Allah, bring on the hour, hasten on the hour." And so he is told, sleep. He is told, rest. You will have your time. You will have that time when you will return to your things. What about the other situation? When those two angels, they come to that man and they ask him, "Mar Rabbuk?" He says, I don't know, I don't know. And he is asked, "What is your religion?" And he says, I don't know, I don't know. And then he's asked, "Who is that man that was sent to you?" He says, I don't know, I don't know. I used to hear the people saying something and so I just said what they said." And then a caller calls out and he is told, "My slave has lied. My slave has lied. So furnish his grave from the furnishings of the hellfire." And then what happens, ikhwani? A window is opened up. A window is opened up to Jannah. And he sees paradise and he sees its delights. And he is told, "This would have been your place had you believed, had you followed the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam." And then that window is closed and a window to the hellfire is opened up. And he sees its torment. He sees its punishment. He sees its flames and he feels its heat. And he is told, "This is going to be your resting place. This is going to be your abode." And so he says, "Oh Allah, do not establish the hour. Oh Allah, do not establish the hour." And the grave, it squeezes him until his ribs, they interlock one upon the other. They close in on one another. And then a creation is sent over him. And this creation is blind and this creation is dumb and it cannot hear. And in its hand is an iron rod, which if it was to strike a mountain, then the mountain would be turned to dust. And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he told us that this angel or this creation strikes him and he turns to dust and he utters a shriek which everything can hear except for man and except for jinn. And the Messenger alayhi salam, he would have made dua to allow us to hear the punishment of the grave. But he says, "If I did that, I fear you wouldn't bury your dead." If you could hear the graves and the screaming and the torment within them, I fear that you wouldn't be able to bury your dead. And then a man comes upon this evildoer, this mushrik, this kafir, this disbeliever. A man comes upon him with an evil face, with a black scary face, with a disgusting appearance. And he's walking towards him and he says, "Who are you? Your face looks like you are bringing evil." And the man says, "I am your evil deeds. By Allah, I used to know that you were quick to disobey Allah and you were slow in the obedience of Allah. So, Jazakallahu sharran. May Allah recompense you with evil." And that man's deeds, that evil character, he accompanies him for all of eternity. And morning and evening, he is shown his place in the fire of hell. And so, he goes on being tormented in this way, tormented and punished in this way until Yawm al-Qiyamah. And for the people of zina, for the people who took riba, for the people of slander and the people of backbiting, then they have specific punishments as mentioned in the sunnah of the Prophet alayhi salatu wassalam. So then, ya ikhwan, we go on. فَإِذَا نُفِخَ فِي الصُّورِ نَفْخَةٌ وَاحِدَةٌ. So when the horn, the trumpet, it is blown with the first blowing. And the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, "How can I relax? How can I enjoy when the angel who is tasked with the blowing of the trumpet, the blowing of the horn, he has already tilted his head back and his eyes are like two stars fixed gazing at the throne of Ar-Rahman, and the trumpet, he has put it to his mouth and he is waiting for the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to blow that trumpet." And so this dunya, kullu man alayha fan, everything in it is going to come to an end. So these people, they either in the bliss of the grave or in the punishment of the grave, either with a window to the Jannah or a window to the hellfire, they will go on for as long as Allah Jalla wa Ala, He wills them to, in this state of the grave, in the barzakh, either in bliss or in punishment. And then the trumpet will be blown with the first blowing, and the heavens will split asunder, and the earth will come to an end, and the seas will boil over and they will burst their banks, and the sky will rip apart, and it will be like molten iron and molten lead, and it will flow, and the earth and the stars will fall, they will lose their lights, and the sun will lose its light, and everything as we know it will come to an end. يَوْمَ تُبَدَّلُ الْأَرْضُ غَيْرَ الْأَرْضِ وَالسَّمَاوَاتِ. On the day when the heavens and the earth, they're going to be changed for a different creation. And so this is with the first blowing.